everything about Agile is discipline. If anyone that cannot keep to discipline won't be able to fully maximize the opportunities and benefits of Agile. Okay, anyone who doesn't keep to discipline won't be able to maximize the opportunities of Agile. All right. So with that means all of us need to play our roles as Agile leaders, which discipline is our core. Discipline is our root. Okay. So just a moment. So I'm trying to get this on YouTube. Please give me a moment. Okay. So if we're on now. Just all right. So we're looking at disciplined Agile. Disciplined Agile. The learning objectives we are going to focus on here is that by the end of this session, we'll be able to understand what disciplined Agile is and how it differs from other frameworks. Then we will learn about the disciplined Agile mindsets, the principles, and the 4 universal values. And then we'll explore the decision framework and optimize way of working, and understand the 6 disciplined Agile life cycles and when to apply each. Learn about process blades and their role in enterprise agility, and then discover practical steps to apply disciplined Agile in our organizations. So let's begin with the first. What is disciplined Agile? What is disciplined Agile? Disciplined Agile is a comprehensive decision framework and knowledge base designed to guide individuals, teams, and organizations to optimize their way of working. It is not a methodology, but a flexible toolkit that combines Agile, lean, and traditional practices of management. And it is context sensitive and pragmatic approach, and is empowerment through informed choice. The disciplined Agile versus other Agile frameworks like the Scrum, the SAF, and the LESS. We've already looked at Scrum, but we didn't look at SAF. SAF is also a Scrum tool, and is also for enterprise use. Disciplined Agile is for enterprise use, and both SAF and the LESS, they are both for enterprise use. So all of the tools we are going to be looking at here are for enterprise-based Agile application. So we have the Scrum, which is prescriptive framework, and its iteration type is the single based, and it also flows at the team level. For SAF, you have it has its prescriptive framework as well, but the life cycle type is rigid. The life cycle type of SAF, as compared to Scrum, which is flexible and iterative, is rigid and complex. Now, the focus, Scrum is focusing on team level, but SAF is focusing on enterprise scale. Then you have less that is regarded as a scaled Scrum, and the cycle type is also single, like that we have in Scrum, and then it is used majorly for large scale products. But for the discipline Agile, for the type, you will see that it is a flexible toolkit. Now, one thing I would like us to notice here is that the discipline Agile regards itself as a toolkit rather than a framework or a methodology. It refers itself as a toolkit rather than a methodology or the likes. Okay, so in the circle type, it is multiple, up to 6 options. And then on the focus, it is enterprise and it is context based. Now on the Scrum, you say it one side fits most approach. Scrum is a framework that is almost applicable to all the projects or all the cycle you want to follow through. In Scrum, they're almost the same thing. In SAF, it is a highly structured hierarchy, and that makes it a bit rigid. And then for less, it is minimalistic scaling. And then for discipline Agile, it provides choices with trade-offs. It provides choices with trade-offs. Remember that in Agile, generally, we have 4 core values. In DA also, we have 4 universal values of DA. Now, the first value is respect people and the planet. And that talks about respect and Sorry, please, my network was disrupted in a bit. Okay, but I'm back. So I was trying to explain the difference between discipline agile and others, and then the core values around discipline agile. And I said the first thing is respect to people and respect to the planet. And that talks about sustainability, ethical practices, and collaboration in our operations. Then delivering, optimizing our value delivery, which means delivering meaningful outcomes efficiently, streamlining our work, removing waste, and prioritizing by impact. Now you have the relentless improvement, continuously learning and adapting, use experiment, feedback, and reflection to improve. They have be pragmatic, which is choose pragmatic, context-sensitive approaches, avoid dogma, be flexible to what works. So if you look at these core values and then you compare it to the core values of Agile, you find that it's just a craft from the Agile core values. Now I have the 8 principles of discipline Agile. In the Agile framework, the complete Agile environment will have 12 principles, or what we call the Agile Manifesto, 4 core values and 12 principles. But in discipline Agile, it has 4 core values and then it has 8 principles. What are the 8 principles? Number 1, delight your customers. So that takes us back to customer centricity, and then be awesome. Be awesome. That is, strive to be the best that you can be, and continuously improve your skills and work. Remember what we said today, that Agile leaders, we only have one option: to be at the better side of life, at the best. We are to be at the best at whatever thing we do. Then context counts. The way it works in ministry A might not be the way it works in agency A. So we need to understand the context of the project, the context of the environment, and so that we can adapt applications according to context. Then the next is for you to be pragmatic, focus on being effective rather than strictly adhering to Agile purity. Then choice is good. Select the best fit techniques for your situation from a range of options. Then you have optimize your flow, optimize your processes, optimize the entire value stream, not just the local team processes. If you look at your processes, whether it is business process, administrative process, production process, if you want to optimize, you could find out the key aspects of the things you do and ask the question of how can we do it better? How can we enhance on this? Can we do this in a way that will reduce cost and increase value? Okay, can we do this in a way that we can reduce time but increase impact? So the question is, how can we get better in our processes? How can we get better with our systems? That is the essence of process optimization, or optimizing your flow. They have organized around products and services. Focus on delivering value through products and services that customers need. When we were looking at working in an Agile environment, we kept, I tried to emphasize on the clarity of what it means to be customer-centric. If you are not solving, or if you're not meeting to the needs of the customer, you have not done a good research yet. So your value proposition must be clear-cut on how to, on the identified problem and how to solve the problem. That's very, very important. And they have the enterprise awareness. Consider long-term needs and goals of the entire organization, so they can build your Agile processes and Agile systems also on for a long run initiative. Then you have the decision framework. The discipline Agile guides you through a structured thinking process to optimize your way of working. In the Scrum, you hear things like definition of done. And in Agile, discipline Agile, you hear more of iteration and way of working. your way of working. Okay, your way of working. And this decision framework comprises of the goal, decision point, and the options available that you can choose from. Now, the goal is a high-level objective or capability the team needs to achieve. The decision point is the critical questions or aspects to consider within that goal. The critical questions or aspects to consider within that goal. And then the options has to do with the specific strategies or practices to choose from. Brainstorming, checklist, threat modeling are all tools that you can use for option. Now, in understanding the trade-offs, every option has pros and cons. As at the end of the day, every option you have will have its pros and cons. The DA illuminates these trade-offs so you can make an informed choice that fits your unique situation. Now, let's quickly look at the concept of the way of working, choosing your way of working. One of the things that Agile believes in is that you need to be awesome in what you do. You need to be awesome. So in another word, you need to be excellent. So excellence is non-negotiable when it comes to Agile. And we already understand that mindset is the determining factor of how we work, because it is our mindset that determines our thought patterns. And in Agile, its own mindset is the mindset of being excellent in the thing you do. So choosing your way of work, there is no best process. There is only the process that is best for you in your current context. I'll repeat this again. There is no best process. There is only the process that is best for you in your current context. So when you take project on context basis, then you understand that tailoring is inevitable. By tailoring, we mean customizing the processes, the systems, the approaches for every given project to fit into that project or to fit into the service delivery or product development. Okay, so your way of work is context driven, and it has to be based on informed decision making, and there is continuous evolution. Remember, I kept hammering today that human behavior is dynamic, and that makes for the dynamic nature that we have in the world today. Because of we want to have new taste, we want to have new preference, and all of that. So we are forced to continuously evolve. So for that purpose, we treat situations based on context. We will make informed decisions using the DA toolkit, and then we will ensure that we are not static. Okay, we are not static in our operations. Okay, we are not static in our operations. Okay, now the discipline Agile is developed by and managed by the Project Management Institute USA. If time permits us, I will go to the portal. I will go to my portal on PMI, and I will show you how the discipline Agile works. In fact, as a manager looking towards becoming excellent, I've always said that you need to update your project management skill. And one of the areas of this skill that you need to update is your Agile skills. Okay, and one of the Agile skills that you need to update is your discipline Agile. One of the things I will say here will sound like is good to apply, but PMI had already created this tool into a framework that allows you to be able to use it without having to break your brain of how is it done or how is it not done and all of that. And if time permits, in this class, I will take us to that framework, and we will all look at it together, how it works. Unfortunately, that tool is not open to everybody. Okay, it's only open to members of PMI USA. It's not an open tool. So maybe with time, as you progress in your journey, maybe one of the days you become a member of PMI, and if you have need of the tool, then you can use it accordingly. Okay, you can use it accordingly. Right? Now, the 6 DA life cycles, you have the Agile, the Lean, continuous delivery for Agile, continuous delivery for Lean, and then you have the exploratory and the program. Now, DA recognizes one process does not fit all. So you choose the life cycle that fits your context. Choose the life cycle that fits your context. Life cycle number 1, the Agile, which is Scrum-based life cycle. We've already discussed Scrum and everything that has to do with Scrum. Then you have the Lean, which is the Kanban-based project life cycle. We've also discussed about Kanban. Then you have the continuous delivery using the Agile approach of Scrum, which we've also discussed. So you have continuous delivery using Scrum for as a product life cycle. Then you can have continuous delivery using Kanban-based product lifecycle. And then you have the exploratory. The exploratory is Lean startup based for innovation. So you can explore you can use the exploratory for startup. Okay, you can use exploratory if you're trying to test things like we did with extreme programming. You have the test-driven programming and the pair programming. So the same thing applies here. They have the program for teams of a team of teams. Okay, for a team of teams, that's for scaling purposes. Okay, if you want to scale, then you are at liberty to use. You are at liberty to use the program approach. Now, for the Scrum-based lifecycle, which we've taken time to discuss that today. But according to the DA, how does DA view Scrum? DA has the inception, the construction, and the transition. So extending Scrum construction with explicit initiation and release phases. So from the inception, it deals with you forming the team and agreeing on the way of working. Not on the definition of done, but on the way of working. Then you create initial vision and scope, build initial backlog, and then plan initial release. Sorry, I'm noticing that my slide is a bit tiny. Please feel free to use the Zoom function to see what I'm sharing, and where it's not all that visible, please don't be offended. You will get the slides in good time. All right. Okay. Now, under the construction phase, you have the work in fixed iterations, like you have your sprint time boss, daily coordination, like your stand-ups, produce consumable solutions, and then review and retrospect. In the transition, you have final testing and verification, documentation and training, deployed to production, and stakeholder acceptance. Now, if you look at this is just a way of summarizing Scrum to suit what they want to have, okay, or to suit the way they want it presented. Okay, the way they want it presented. All right. Now, moving on, you have the Lean life cycle, which is Kanban based. And of course, we've already explained all of this. But so if you look at discipline Agile, it is integrating or trying to integrate all the Agile frameworks in a piece. Okay, try to integrate all of the frameworks in one place. Okay, and then also adding to the fact that it's going to have the traditional project management processes also integrated into it. So your Lean lifecycle is your Kanban based, a continuous flow approach that minimizes work in progress and maximizes efficiency. Work is pulled into systems only when there is capacity. So you have pool of ideas, daily work, and release. And how do you apply it? Work arrives in a continuous, unpredictable stream. Example, support tickets. Then the team prefers to release functionality as soon as it is ready. And then priorities change frequently, making fixed iterations difficult. So in a Kanban-based approach, fixed iterations are not that easy as you find in Scrum. So for where fixed iterations are not possible, Kanban might be your best option. So you treat as the cases come, or you treat as the need arises. But in Scrum is much more structured and much more defined, in the sense that you have to, first of all, start from definition of what is expected to be done. Then you create your MVP, and then you test, and then you deploy. All right. The key characteristics of the lean lifecycle is that no fixed iteration, and then there is work in progress limits, and then there is a pull system. Now, one of the things that work in progress limit does is that it helps you to reduce waste. Okay, it prevents doing the work that is not expected to be done. So when you have a WIP, or when you have a Kanban-based approach, you can have a WIP to ensure that what is done is only what is expected to be done at any given time. All right. Okay. Please, I need you to confirm that you're with me. If you can hear me loud and clear, please type 1-1 in the chat room. If you can hear me loud and clear, please type 1-1 in the chat room. Okay. If you can hear me loud and clear and you're together with me, please type 1-1 in the chat room. All right. Thank you so much. So let's move on. So now you are beginning to see how the discipline Agile works. Okay. I'm actually doing two things at the same time. I'm trying to see if I can get to my portal and check if I'll be able to show us some of the things I'm talking about, or show us the tool. Okay. Show us the tool in a moment. Because as I'm discussing now, it's not discipline Agile is how will I put it? Is already a framework that has already been developed. So your assignment is use it by the way they've by the way they've already constructed it. And like I said earlier, if you are a member of PMI, you can always access the DA. Okay, you can always access the DA. Okay, so just like what we did for those of us that were in the cybersecurity class, we had what we call the open source intelligence. So your DA, when it comes to project management, is more like your open source intelligence. It's more like your open source intelligence for project management. So let me see if I can share a bit of what I have here. Unfortunately, I cannot give you my I can't give you my login details because it would not be of any relevance to you. Okay, so if you look at the screen, this is DA 6.0. This is that's the latest version. So everything you need to do about your DA or using the discipline Agile is captured here. Now, for every it divides your DA divides your Agile application into the phases that you see there. So you have inception, construction, transition, ongoing, like you can see on my screen. And then you have different aspects also that you might consider when doing your project, like you have development operations, enterprise operations, value stream for different aspects of the project. So let's assume that you're doing a DA and your sprint is to form a team, which is at the inception phase. So when you come to the inception phase, you have the activities there. Okay, your activities is form a team, align with enterprise direction, explore scope, identify architecture strategy, plan the release, develop test strategy, develop common vision, and secure funding. Now, this is what is expected to be done during your inception. This is the structure for a DA. So all you need to do is to click on the one you want to do part-time. So if you click on form a team, you will see what appears there, trying to give you a simple guide on what you need to do. So when you click on form a team, you have source of team members. How do you get team members? Is it going to be existing team from another product, or you borrow team members, or is it a new team? Okay. How are you going to source for your team members? Team evolution strategy. Is it going to be team lead, team lead makes changes or management makes changes? Okay, how will the team be evolving? Then you have your team sizes between the range of is this a small team of 2 to 15 people, medium team of 10 to 30, or medium team of teams of 10 to 50, or large team of 30 plus. How do you want your size of team to be? Then on the structure of your team, what would be the structure of your team? You have the component team, feature team, focus team, inner source team, program team, service team, single team. So what this does is believe that by the time you start using this, you would have understood the nitty-gritties of the DA, so that when you log into the DA, all you need to do is to use accordingly. And for everything you click on, it tells you the options available, the trade-offs available, and it's left for you to choose your option. Okay, it's left for you to choose. Anyone you click on, it will give you detailed description of what each of these things mean. Okay, each of these things, what they mean. All right. Okay. All right. So if you're still with me, I only try to show a little bit of what the DA is using the Agile, the PMI dashboard. Okay, so everything here is just a guide to you of how to do your project. If you want to do any project at all you want to do, you find the options to doing them here. The DA is to provide you with numerous options, and then your own is to decide on which option, based on the context of your project, will meet your needs. Okay, will meet your needs. All right. I trust you were able to get something from there. I'm just trying to show us how the DA, what it looks like, and all of that. Okay. Okay, so let's get back to class, and we move on as fast as we can. Now, when we come back for the advanced classes on Agile, we'll still look at this, all of these tools again, but much more, we'll be looking at them from the application perspective. Okay, so now we are creating the foundation. You are getting to know what they are used for, how they will be used. But when we come to the advanced classes, we will not just be discussing the foundation levels anymore. We will now be discussing the applications of these tools across different projects and across different industries. All right. Okay. Now we have the continuous life cycle. All of these things have already been captured in our discussions. So like I said, what DA is trying to do is to create a hybrid agile model. Okay, create a hybrid agile model such that you can easily integrate Scrum and Kanban. You can easily integrate Kanban and traditional project management and every other thing around that. Okay, now choosing the right life cycle. There is no best life cycle. Use these drivers to select the approach that fits your team's current context. You have team maturity. New teams often need the structure of Agile. Mature teams thrive with the flexibility of Lean. So if you have a new team, you have to bring them up first to be an Agile team. And of course, your Agile team starts with ensuring that they have the same mindset as you want them to have. Okay. Then you have the nature of work. Project-based work fits the Agile Lean. Long-lived product teams benefit from continuous delivery, like you have in those products that have different versions coming up year in, year out. They have the uncertainty. High market or technical risk requires the hypothesis-driven approach of exploratory. Then you have the scale. Large solutions with multiple teams and complex dependencies require the program life cycle, that you structure it and begin to launch it out phase by phase. Now we have what we call the process blades. The process blades in DA, the building blocks of organizational agility. A process blade is a cohesive part of the organizational way of working that addresses a specific organizational capability. A cohesive part of your organizational way of working that addresses a specific organizational capability. And what are these blades? You have encapsulated capability, goal-driven options, enterprise aware. Now, encapsulated capability means each blade focuses on a specific domain, example, finance, security, IT operations, but is designed to be part of the larger system. It's designed to be, so encapsulated means it is inside the organizational system. A sub, so let's put it this way, a subsystem that is in the system, which is the organization itself. If you remember, those of us that did HR, one of the things we talked about in organizational development, we say organization is an interconnectivity of complex systems, or an organization is made up of systems. Okay, organization is made up of systems. So here, those systems are now what we are referring to as process blades. So each of those subdomains, subunits, departments that are composed in the entire organization, we look at them as a blade. But remember that it's called a blade because it has its own contributions, major contributions to organizational growth. That means without that particular department or a unit or the process or system, something will definitely be halted. Okay. Now you have the goal-driven options. Blades don't prescribe best practices. Instead, they offer decision points and options to help you tailor your approach to your context. You have the enterprise aware. Blades are interconnected, like I just said. Decisions in one area, example, finance, explicitly consider the impact on others, example, your delivery team or even your HR team. Okay. So that's the process blades. You have the encapsulated capability, goal-driven options, and the enterprise aware. So your encapsulated capability talks of the specific domains, remember we talked about the cross-functional teams. Okay, so what are the functional areas within your team that make up your processes, your systems, and your organization? Okay, those could be those interconnected functional teams. Each of them could be regarded as a domain or as a blade. Remember that irrespective of the fact that is a functional is a functional jurisdiction. However, it is within the organization, so we call it encapsulated capability. Okay, so if you want to check out for the capability of the entire organization, then you have to check out for the encapsulated capabilities within the organization. Okay, and then you have the goal-driven options, and then you have enterprise aware. Enterprise aware, we must know if this function is disrupted, this is what it will cause. If we do this in this function, this is what it will add, enhance, decrease, or eliminate in this other function. Okay, that's the enterprise aware. They'll have the 4 layers of DA. The 4 layers of DA. You have the foundation, the discipline DevOps, and then you have the value streams and the discipline agile enterprise. So now my screen is a bit tiny, but don't worry, I'm going to go back to the agile, the DA, and I will show you from there. Okay, I'm going to show you from there. So if we go to our DA, let me get back to the DA. I want you to look at the tools we have there. So here you have your DevOps, you have the DevOps operations, you have enterprise, you have your value stream. Okay, DevOps, enterprise, value stream, and these other ones are under the inception. Okay, so this is the discipline agile delivery. Discipline agile delivery, under which you have inception, construction, transition, ongoing, and then you have your DevOps, which is your IT, your support, release management, security, data management. You have the enterprise, you have your value stream. Now, these options here are the same things you see on what I'm trying to share on the screen from my slide. Okay, these are the same things that apply. Those are the same things I'm trying to explain here. So right here, you see your different combinations that the DA has made. So you have your discipline agile delivery, value streams, discipline DevOps, and the foundation. Okay, so this is the same thing we have from the PMI dashboard that I just shared in a moment. In the foundations, you have the principles, you have the promises, you have the guidelines, you have the basics, the agile basics, the lean basics, and the roles. In the discipline DevOps, you have the discipline agile delivery, you have the security, data management, release management, and support. On the value streams, you have your portfolio management, product management, and program management. And then your discipline agile enterprise, you have your people management, finance, legal management, people management, finance, legal, marketing, and sales. Okay, so these are the things you have there. Now, the key process blades that we have, you have the IT capabilities, the enterprise capabilities. On the IT capabilities, you have the data management, you have your security, you have your release management. All these are considered as the sub-blades under the IT capabilities. And then you have your enterprise capabilities, where you have your portfolio management, product management, and your finance. And then when you move on, you have your discipline agile delivery roles. The primary roles in Scrum. Who can remember this? Who can remember the roles we have under Scrum? Can anybody remember the roles we have under Scrum? Can anybody remember the roles that we have under Scrum? Can anyone remember? Can anyone remember the rules that we have under Scrum? Can anyone remember? All right, yeah, Dr. Ife, please go ahead. You can turn on your microphone, please.
Yeah, product owner, Scrum Master, and the developers.
Okay, product owner, Scrum Masters, Scrum Master, and developers. Okay, so on this, thank you so much. On the chat room, I see a number of people putting them there. Thank you so much. Okay, so when you look at discipline agile delivery rules, you see a bit resemblance. Okay, but you also notice that there you have stakeholder, product owner, team lead, architecture owner, and then the team member. So your stakeholder here talks of anyone materially impacted by the outcome. Examples are the sponsors, users, the support. Then you have the product owner, who remains the product owner. He owns the vision, the roadmap, and prioritizes the work items. They have the team lead, which is the servant leader who facilitates the team. So example is the Scrum Master. Then you have the architecture owner that owns architectural decisions and mitigates technical risk. Please, when we say architectural owner or architecture owner, we don't really mean a building design. Anyone responsible for designing the processes, the systems for the delivery, for the agile delivery, is considered an architect. Okay, so in IT we have different architects. Almost every operation have its own architects. Okay, every operation has their own architects. They have the team lead, or sorry, team member, which is a combination of cross-functional creators who build the solutions. So from here, what we've principally done is that now the product owner is meant to be the one representing the stakeholders. Okay, but now I have the stakeholders inside the role. And then the team lead remains the Scrum Master. The architecture owner and the team members are supposed to be the development team. So if you go back to Scrum and look at this, the only person we've added here is actually the stakeholder. Okay, the only person we've added here, the architecture owner and the team lead, or the team owner, they are under the development team. The team lead is the Scrum Master, and then the product owner remains. So the only person we've added here is the stakeholder. So you see, where is stakeholder coming from? Stakeholder is coming from the traditional project management. So Discipline Agile don't want to leave out the fact that stakeholders are part of projects, stakeholders are part of product development, stakeholders are part of investment. So instead of allowing the product owner, sometimes people say, we don't even know if he is telling them the truth. So Discipline Agile said, no, we don't want to have questions of transparency. Let stakeholders be involved. So you get to know what is involved at every given time. So this is more like a hybrid role, okay, as compared to the simplicity of Scrum. This is a hybrid role, okay? All right. Please, if you're with me, just type 22 in the chat room. If you understand that, please type 22 in the chat room. If you're with me, please type 22 in the chat room. Okay. Thank you. If you're with me, please type 22 in the chat room. We are gradually coming to the end of this course. If you're with me, if you understand these DAD rules, and also with respect to the Scrum rules, okay, just type 22 in the chat room. If you're with me, type 22 in the chat room. Okay. Now moving forward. Now the question now is, when do we use Discipline Agile rules and when do we use Scrum rules? It's all dependent on you. Remember that context is very, very important. Now, if you have a project that is large and that is complex, obviously you may have to use the Discipline Agile. Okay, you may have to use it. So instead of the product owner just being the spokesperson, so the stakeholders can have an executive who represents them in meetings and others of such. For those of us that have done project management with IIPM, there is a framework in project management we call the Prince 2. Now, Prince 2 is more of a functional approach to project management. And what we mean by a functional approach, in Prince 2, the business that is contracting the project will always have somebody from their management team to supervise the project, who is called an executive. That's Prince 2. But on a traditional waterfall approach of project management, you hand over the project to a contractor, and that contractor is more like he has both the yam and the knife. So he decides to cut it the way he wants. And after he writes a report. So, but in the case of Prince 2, it is the executive that supervises and then delivers the report to the stakeholders involved. So that's the similitude of what DA is trying to do, bridge the gap between the traditional project management approach with the Agile. So making it a hybrid format. Whether you wanted to have used Prince 2 before, or you want to use the waterfall, or you want to use Agile, Disciplined Agile says, use me because I provide you options for any choice you want at all. Okay, and I do it better. Now, you have the supporting roles also, the Disciplined Agile supporting roles. You have the specialists, domain experts, technical experts, independent testers, and integrators. Okay, your specialists if you remember in project management, sorry, I'm referring back to project management. In project management, there is what we call expert judgment. Expert judgment. For most of the decisions that we take in project management, we run it through an expert who validates that decision before we move on. And expert judgment can also be done either individually or by a group of professionals, right? Okay, so that's for specialist roles. And that could also, there is also what we call the subject matter experts. There's also what we call the subject matter experts in the default project, in the default project management. That's waterfall project management. So those people we call the subject matter expert, focus expert, we bring them here as domain or the niche experts. They have the technical expert. So whether it is a specialist, a domain expert, a technical expert, an independent tester, or integrator, all of them are considered as expert judgment in the traditional project management. Their work is to provide some specialized roles for the project. Okay. All right. Then we have the value acceleration process. Value acceleration process. Value acceleration process. Value acceleration process. We have about 18 minutes to round off the section. Now, anyway, I stop at exactly 4 o'clock. We are going to draw the curtain. Value acceleration process. Remember that one of the essence of Agile is to continuously deliver value. Continuously deliver value. But how do we get this process accelerated so that the delivery will be continuous? All right. So your value acceleration process is a systematic iterative approach to identifying and removing impediments to flow. Now, what do? We have establishing outcomes, then conducting discovery, and then working out the plan. In establishing your outcome, define what success looks like for the organization or the value stream. So this brings us to the definition of done. So you define your strategic goals, set measurable OKRs, that's your objectives and key result areas. And then you have alignment with stakeholders. So that will be what we do under establishment of outcomes. Then in conducting discovery, you identify the bottlenecks and select potential improvements. Now, what this will imply is that we analyze the value stream to identify the potential impediments and possible improvement we can make on them, and then identify the root causes of the impediments, and then select guided options as to providing solutions to the discovered impediments. Then you work out the plan, implement the changes, and measure the results. The results here will mean run the experiments, measure impacts, and adapt and repeat. They'll have the value stream management. Value stream management, optimizing end-to-end flow of value from customer request to realization. From customer request to realization. Every organization is involved in value stream management. Every individual is involved in value stream management. Remember, we said Agile is one of the ways to manage expectations. And what does that mean? You're just managing the value stream between the time the expectation was set and to the time the expectation was turned to a reality. That's a value stream. And what we do from the point of inception to the point of delivery would make or mar the whole value system. All right. So the value stream management optimizes the end-to-end flow of value from customer request to realization. The processes involved, you have the concept, that's the time of idealizing. Then you have the strategy. How do you achieve this? By building your portfolio and your funding. Then you have the build, which is the implementation. You have the release, okay, which is the deployment, okay. You release, and then by the time you release, the value is then given to customers. That value is considered as benefits. And of course, the benefit could come in different ways. It could come in terms of functions, features, added value, or what you can think of. All right. In optimizing, the value stream helps in optimizing the whole, which is move beyond the local optimization, that is just coding faster, to system optimization. A fast development team doesn't help if deployment takes weeks, like it takes long. In the value stream, your anchor is to focus on the flow. Identify and remove the bottlenecks and the delays, and then focus on reducing the wait time between the steps, not just the work time, but reduce the wait time, the time the customer has to wait, reduce it. And then you have the long-lived teams. Shift from temporary projects to stable value stream teams. Bring work to the people rather than moving people to the work. Bring work to the people rather than moving people to the work. And then we'll move on to value and innovation increments. Value and innovation increments. How many slides do I have? Okay, so who is signing me out? Okay. All right, let's see if we can get this done. Now, remember that one of the things I spoke about when we started this course, I gave an example of what we call a blue ocean strategy, or called the value innovation strategy. And under value innovation strategy, more of what you're doing is you want to increase revenue while reducing costs. You want to increase satisfaction while reducing time. You want to increase investment while reducing operational expenses. That's the same thing the discipline Agile wants you to have. So in value and innovation increments, the true business agility requires balancing the predictable delivery of value with the disciplined exploration of new ideas. The value increment here with the focus of delivery, a tested, usable portion of the solution that provides immediate benefits to the stakeholders. So it is potentially shippable, high quality and compliant, generates revenue and utility, and it has the standard Agile goal. So whatever thing was your basic definition of done, what is your definition of done from the beginning of the project? This particular value increment, which is now a product or service, must carry that goal. Okay. Then on the innovation increment, which has the focus on learning, it has to do with experimenting, prototyping, or proofs of concept designed to validate hypotheses and reduce risks. It involves validated learning, fail fast, and pivots. In Agile, we believe if you need to fail at all, then fail fast, learn from your fall, or learn from the failure and adapt and move forward. Taking long to take decision will make learning a difficult one. So take faster decisions and fail fast, learn and proceed. Okay, reduce technical and market risks, and then lean startup approach. So lean startup approach simply means you test in bits. Don't plunge your resources and say you want to fail fast. So you go and use all of your resources to fail fast. Okay, so do your remember the hypothetical experiment. So try your hypothetical experiment before you start deployment of resources for higher manufacturing or production. Now, what are the benefits of the discipline Agile? It is context sensitive. It is pragmatic in nature in the sense that it is hybrid. It covers both the Agile frameworks and the traditional management frameworks. Then it is also, it creates enterprise awareness, or it takes cognizance of the entire enterprise as a system. So it is enterprise aware, and then it is scalable. Your DI is scalable. If you want to use it on a small project, you're welcome. If you want to use it on a complex project, large projects, you are welcome. So you can scale from small to medium to large. Okay. How do you implement DA in your organization? A pragmatic evolutionary approach to adopting discipline Agile, moving from pilot teams to enterprise scale. Number one, educate and assess. So train your team. Train key change agents. Okay. Train key change agents like your discipline Agile Scrum Masters, discipline Agile Senior Scrum Masters, as the case may be. Then you have your assess current team maturity and context, identify pain points in current processes. Then the next process is to launch your pilots. Your pilots, select 1 to 2 pilot teams, choose the appropriate life cycle, either the Agile or the Lean, then tailor the initial way of working. Then optimize your guided continuous improvement. Okay, optimize, that's using your guided continuous improvement. Remember the Kaizen mindset? So you have to introduce the Kaizen mindset in your guided continuous improvement cycle. So you implement your GCI, use the toolkits to solve specific blockers, measure outcomes like your cycle time, your lead time, and others. They have the scale enterprise, that's make it open to every aspect of the enterprise. Expand the value stream and portfolio, integrate finance, people, and legal blades, and then establish center of excellence for your DA. Common challenges and solutions in DA. You have overwhelmed by options. Yes. So when you get to DA, you have up to 6 options. But anything you want to do, you have up to 6 options, so you can be overwhelmed. Okay, you can be overwhelmed. Then you have resistance to the rules. Yes. So you have stakeholders, product owner, team lead, architect owner, and then team members. So there could be conflict between architect owner and product owner. There could be conflict between architect owner and the Scrum Master. So resistance to the rules can also cause a challenge. Then you have the fake Agile. The fake Agile. Remember that discipline Agile is combining the traditional project management approaches with the real Agile management approaches. So there will be some part of the approach that might not be Agile, but because we call it discipline Agile, we now take it to be Agile. So it's considered as a fake Agile. So rituals without mindset or outcomes, call them the fake Agiles. They have the premature scaling. You have Okay, so these are the challenges, and then on the right you see the solutions of how you can deal with them. So for overwhelmed by options, start with a standard life cycle, example Scrum, then evolve via the guided continuous improvement. For resistance to roles, map existing roles to DA roles without forcing titles. Focus on responsibilities over labels. For the fake agile, reinforce the foundation layer, that's the principles and the promises. Use value stream management to fix flow issues. For premature scaling, stabilize your delivery teams first, then scale only when needed via the program blade. Now, the key takeaways, this is awesome. The key takeaway is that the essential principles of the discipline agile, to remember, you have the two, discipline agile is a toolkit, not a framework. The context counts. Enterprise awareness is important. It deals with the enterprise as a whole. And then starts when you start where you are, rather, then optimize. It helps you to optimize your flows. Okay. So like I also said, when it comes to in the Scrum, like we have the certified Scrum Master, you have certified Scrum Product Owner, you have the certified Scrum Development Team, okay, certified Scrum Developer, okay. The same thing also applies in Discipline Agile. You have the Discipline Agile Scrum Master, you have the Discipline Agile Senior Scrum Master, and all of this just to help us deepen our knowledge on Scrum or on Agile, Agile tools, Agile methodologies, Agile practices, Agile frameworks, and the likes. And on this note, in conclusion, the path forward to true business agility, your DA is the path forward to true business agility. This discipline agile is not about doing agile perfectly. It is about what's working for your business perfectly. I hope you got that. Discipline agile is not about doing agile perfectly, but it's about doing what works for your business, what works for your organization, what works for your family, what works for your career, doing it perfectly. Okay? And you have to be pragmatic. Choose the right strategy for the situation, not the most popular one. Be flexible and be enterprise aware. At this juncture, I would like to say thank you for listening to me once again. Thank you for your time, and thank you for thus far we've come. Questions, comments, contributions before we call it a day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, some of these things we discuss might not be completely, like, we cannot say you are understanding it perfectly, but like I said, with continuous practice and continuous learning, we will keep understanding it the more we go. All right. Okay. Questions, comments, and then we'll take a few announcements, and we're out of here. But my joy is that in this conference, you've been able to learn about Agile. Let me ask, is there anyone that this is your first time of going through an Agile? This is your first time of going through Agile. If this is your first time of going through Agile, just type Agile in the chat room. If this is your first time of going through Agile, just type Agile in the chat room. Just type Agile. If this is your first time of going through Agile, just type Agile in the chat room. Okay, so that's beautiful. That's very beautiful. So I want to ask a question. Do you love Agile? Do you love the Agile? Do you love Agile? I'm sure this whole Agile thing would have changed. These 2 days would have enhanced the way you think about things, and also would have enhanced the way you work with things. Okay, your approach towards projects, your approach towards product development, your approach towards life generally would have changed. And one thing I can guarantee you is that Whether you like it or not, you are now smarter than you used to be. This course has made you smarter than you used to be. Okay, this course has made you, these 2 days has made you smarter than you used to be. And you're going to discover that unconsciously or unconsciously, you're going to begin to apply some of these things. And then you're also going to begin to integrate it to your team. So thank you to everyone. Do we have any question, comments, contribution before we begin to call it a day? Questions, comments, contributions before we call it a day. Questions, comments, contribution. Okay, so from Essential, I said, yes, Agile is the way to go. Thank you. Truly, with continuous practice, yeah, I agree. With continuous practice, we get it better. Thank you. All right. So before we go on, a brief announcement. So we're going to do this together once again. So let's get to YouTube. We like the stream. Drop a comment. And if you've not subscribed, then you subscribe. Can we do that? This is the last class. So let's give it the best boost we can. Let's visit YouTube now. Drop a comment. Like the stream, drop a comment. And then we just take a quick announcement. And then we'll be out of here. Okay, we'll take a quick announcement. And then we'll be out of here. Now, while we are on YouTube trying to give it the thumbs up, the likes, and everything, we are going to run through what we've done in these 2 days. And should there be anyone we did not cover, be rest assured that as we progress in our learning, especially as members, we will learn, we'll keep on learning, all right? Now, our discussion had been on Agile Foundation Certified. And like we said, for all the members that are financially up to date, this certificate is going to be completely free. For the new members that will be inducted by tomorrow, the certificate will be completely free. Now, if you are not a member and you're not going to be inducted and you want to get the certificate, we'll let you know in a moment. Now, this course is a high-impact 2-day intensive training designed to equip participants with the core principles, frameworks, tools, and mindset required to deliver projects and organizational initiatives faster, smarter, and with greater adaptability. Please, if you think we achieved the mandate of this course, if you think we achieved the mandate of this course, which is the first statement there, if you think we achieved it, please kindly drop 100 in the chat room. Drop 100 in the chat room. If you think it was a high impact to the intensive and it helped, we are taught the core principles, frameworks, tools, and mindset. If you think we achieved that, please type 100 in the chat room. All right, thank you. Okay, thank you. All right, now let's quickly review the objectives and see if we are on the, if we were able to get the objectives. Now, the objectives say we will be able to understand the key values, key Agile values, principles, and mindsets, gain clarity on the difference between Agile, waterfall, and hybrid approaches, practice major Agile frameworks like Scrum, Kanban. Okay, so in this case, we also included the discipline Agile, and understand roles as Scrum Master, Product Owner, Agile team, and stakeholders. Apply practical Agile tools like the user stories, story points, burn down charts, Kanban boards, okay, sprints, Okay, then build skills to support agile adoptions, team collaboration, and incremental delivery. Learn how agile aligns with digital transformation for public sector reforms and organizational performance goals. Okay, so I want you to rate the objectives on from so rate the attainment of these objectives. So if it is 100% to you, you type 100. If it is 75%, if it is 80%, if it is 90%, I want you to rate the attainment of the objectives. So if you think the objectives were achieved wholly, just rate. If you think it was partial, 75, 85, 95, 100, just rate. Let's see to the level of our achievement on that. Okay, so we have 75, 90, 100, 95. Okay. I'm still expecting. Remember that what we're doing now is agile evaluation. So we want to follow. We're applying agile now to make sure that we're all of us know where we are. So I have 85, 100. Okay. So we have 75, and we have 75 as the least and 100 as the maximum. That means we were able to get up to, all of us got A. All of us got A. The least person said 75, and the maximum person said 100. So please, can we all clap for ourselves for the attainment of these objectives? Let's clap for ourselves for the attainment of the objectives. Okay, let's look at the content. Let's look at the contents. Let's see the extent to which we're able to go. So we looked at introduction to Agile, working in an Agile environment. We looked at the Agile frameworks. We looked at Scrum, Kanban, extreme programming, and the discipline Agile. We looked at the Scrum framework in detail. We looked at the different Agile strategies, tools, and techniques. We looked at Agile collaboration and Agile ceremonies, and we looked at the discipline Agile. Okay, so would you want to rate these two? Okay, so we just do single point rating. So if you agree that the course content was well covered, just type 1-1. If you think it needed to have maybe there's something that is not completely covered, just type 0-1. So one of the leg of the one will go. So if you think everything was fully covered, just type 1-1. Or maybe something was not covered, just type 0-1. All right. Thank you for this Agile appraisal. We are sincerely grateful. All right. So this program was for 2 days, 10 to 4. Okay. So I will leave it at this. How will you rate our methodology? So we were fully online. Everybody will agree with us on that one, except for Pastor Doris that went to the venue on the first day, who might not rate it 100. But the schedule, we tried as much as we can to keep it 10 to 4. The program remained 2 days. We tried to bring case studies, make it interactive, and also, so in the venue tomorrow, then we'll be having our practical exercises. We'll be having in the conference tomorrow, we'll be having practical exercises. So everyone, please ensure that you are there. Okay. Now for the certificates, if you are not a member, or you are a member but not financially up to date, and you want to get the certificate, please, the certificate for the Agile Foundation certified is 65,000. 65,000 naira. Okay, and please note it is a professional certificate, not a certificate of attendance. If you want the certificate, it is 65,000 naira. If you want to be in the conference and then get the certificate as well, of course, if you're going for the certification, we also expect you to be at the conference, because the final definition of done is that you have to appear at the conference, either virtually or online. Okay. Now, the conference fee is 100, sorry, the conference fee is 50,000 naira for non-members and then 40,000 naira for members. So if you're a member and you've not paid for your conference fee, then you have to pay for your conference fee so that you qualify to get the certification, and you have to be financially up to date. Okay, because you have to be in the conference. This is a pre-conference workshop. It is not independent on its own. It is part of the conference. So you pay your conference fee of 40,000 and then make sure you're financially up to date, and then the certification will be issued to you for free. Now, if you're not a member and you just want to attend the conference and get the certificate, then you have to pay 50,000 plus 65,000, and that will give you the conference fee. Also, you can choose to become a member. Okay, you can choose to become a member of the institute. We have 3 levels of membership. You have the associate member, full member, and fellow. For the associate member, you need to have a minimum of a first degree or HND with 1 to 5 years of working experience to qualify for the associate. For full member, you have 6 to 40 years of experience with a minimum of first degree or HND. And then for a fellow, you must have a minimum of first degree or HND with at least 15 years of working experience. Please note, there are other additional criteria. You must have held leadership positions, and you must have driven some initiatives and transformation initiatives that will be considered. So your work also speaks to, it's not just the 15 years only. It's not just the 15 years and your academic record. No, you must have achievements that qualifies you for a fellow. If you want to be an associate, you pay 150,000. If you want to be a full member, you pay 200,000. If you want to be a fellow, you pay 300,000. Now, if you're paying 150,000 as a new member, you don't need to pay for the conference and you don't need to pay for the certificate. It will all be added to you. So instead of paying maybe 115,000 and then coming back sometimes in the future to become a member and paying the full cost, you can just pay for your membership. So if you do 150 minus 115, that tells you the discount you're already enjoying on your membership. And then you do that for 200 and you do that for 300. That tells you already what you're getting. All right. And of course, it's important for us to also be reminded that for the MDAs, your payment for your certification, any of your certifications, grants you access to the conference. But it doesn't make you a member. I think we've been able to clarify that. And it will also provide you with certificate of participation in the conference. Okay, certificate of participation in the conference. The conference is 2025 Agile Conference and Membership Induction with the team Navigating Economic Volatility and Digital Transformation. The date, December 2nd to 4th. So tomorrow is the last day, and we are going to be meeting physically and also online at National Committee of Vice Chancellor, CVC, Abuja, number 4 Paraco Crescent, Wuse2, Abuja. Okay, and everything you've looked out for, you will get it on that day. If you want to make payment, please, you can screenshot the account details, and then you can go ahead and make your payments. Now, I will take 1, 2 questions and we'll go. Can we attend the conference virtually? Obviously, you can. You can attend virtually. For those of us that are not within. Okay. Do you have any question, comments, contributions as we close this? Do you have questions, comments, contributions? Yes. Yes, please, Architect Armstrong, go ahead.
Okay,
please,
thank you
before you speak, just a moment.
Dr. Banito.
Just wait.
Okay.
I think I need to put my earpiece because this system is a bit low. Just give me 1 second. please, you can go ahead, sir.
Okay, it's just a quick question.
Okay.
For our induction tomorrow, do we have the permission to allow friends to come around?
Mm.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. I hope you can hear me too.
I'm straining my ears anyway. Okay, I think my generation is,
Okay, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So you are given the leverage. You can come with at least one friend. Sorry, at
Okay.
most one friend. At most, sorry.
I would have gone like that.
you can come with. However, let's get it clear. If you want them to come enjoy your session and then be part of your snapping and all of that, you're welcome to invite them. The only difference now is the food is just reserved for the conference participants, those that have already registered. So if you will not have a problem with that, why not? You can invite them.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay. So when you come with your bottle of wine, you can have the toasts with them. And of course, the conference will be very short. We don't intend to stay long there, so that we don't keep people's schedule upside down. So if it's okay, if you don't have a problem with that, why not? You can invite them, so they can come enjoy the session, have the ceremony, enjoy with you. But the difference now, because the caterer has already been booked. Assuming you asked us this question maybe about 2 weeks ago, would have found a way to fix it.
Okay.
But the agile thing we can do now, yes, you can come with your people, but the minimum viable product we can deliver is your own meal.
Does it apply to the charter and license induction?
No. The license is strictly for CIPMN, so we don't hold decisions for them.
Okay.
And you can only go for yourself. You are not to go with anybody. Yes. you can only go for
just for clarity.
Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You know, yesterday somebody came to the office. No, two people came to the office, and each of them came with somebody. And it is not good that when you come to our office that you go without taking something. So if they had come with five persons to come and check out our office, I'm sure would have taken them to the restaurant and then we'll buy for him or buy for her. And they say this extra plate is for you and your friends.
Oh, great.
Oh my God.
So according to the last question.
Yes, please go ahead.
For some of us that have been able to get some people into doing a number of programs, said, do we stand to gain anything? I remember I brought about 2 persons who have been with the project management course, and they are registered and chartered at the same time now, licensed.
Okay. The people you brought, is your wife part of them?
No.
If your wife is not part, then you get nothing. Okay.
They are my friends.
Okay, that's by the way. So if you have referrals to IPM, yes, you have a commission. You have a commission that will be given to you, but not on all programs. So if you have, we have our main courses, and then we have our, will I say, free courses that people only pay for administrative and so. But if you have somebody for main course, maybe somebody has gone for project management full, and somebody is a member coming in as a member, you refer somebody as a member. Yes, you have an appreciation that goes to you.
Okay, yeah. So I have these 2 guys that have done for their project management from foundation.
But your wife is not part of it.
No. Then there's someone also that is hoping to join to register as a member too.
Okay.
Because I usually post the program I'm on a large, I belong to a platform of over 400 young people that I usually post some of those free certifications.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate. Okay.
You're welcome.
So, I have Pastor Doris. Pastor Doris, are you still there? The only participant at the physical venue on Tuesday.
That was very sad
Chai. And then you
because
have
I
to,
came with a lot of expectations
yeah.
and it was just dashed. I
Hope you
was
didn't
hoping
come
to
with my
see a
dollar
lot
that
of
day.
people. Well, your dollar has gone. I was
It can
expecting to
never
see
go.
you people. And when I got there, oh my God,
Oh,
my
God.
balloon was busted.
Chai. Don't
I
worry, we'll
felt
buy another
so
one today.
bad.
So
But
sorry.
well, the section went well and it's okay. I think I'm so glad to be part of this big family. Thank you so much. I enjoyed the sections, all the sections.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Banito. I hope you will be there tomorrow.
Obviously, I will be there.
And I hope that the program is not for the whole day.
No. We've already exhausted the days online. So tomorrow is just for enjoyment, a little merriment, a little discussion, and then we are off.
So how long will the program take tomorrow?
We are looking at between 10 to 2:30. We should be off.
Okay, because I have
But
a lot of.
the venue will be open till 5 p.m. So in case we close by 2, I still want to stay around. Why not?
No, it's just because of my other timing and other engagements in the office. So I would just want to come in briefly and dash off.
Sure, you will. We'll definitely keep it brief.
Okay.
Keep it brief. Yeah.
So see you tomorrow.
Thank you, and same here.
Mhm.
All right. Do you have any other question? Okay, Akite James. Somebody said reduce to 2 hours. Okay. Sorry, at this point we can't reduce to 2 hours. It's just a 4 hours program. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Banuka. I think
Thank you
in
so
2 hours
much.
we'll be able to finish all the food you have made available. Quick question. You didn't mention anything about distinguished membership award. I needed to get more clarification on that. Thank you.
Okay. So we have in every induction we have special awards. So if you want to get an award either as a distinguished fellow or as a distinguished member or as a distinguished associate, then there is a fee for the award, primarily to help prepare the plaque. The plaque is a glass plaque. Unfortunately, I didn't really prepare for that. The plaque is a glass plaque. I think we've shared the number of it in the WhatsApp group. So you can put it in your office and you can also present it formally as part of your proof of achievement in the professional field. I have an engagement or I have an award I'll be receiving tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't be there physically to receive it, but it is one that is going to, for me, um, is something that adds to my career as a licensed project manager. By tomorrow, I'll be having the honor of receiving the Chartered Fellow Award from the Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria. Unfortunately, I won't be physically present to receive it because of our own conference, but it's something that every one of us should think towards and at least have it. Okay. And you need to be a fellow to get the Distinguished Fellow Award. No further prerogative needed. You need to be a member to get the Distinguished Member Award. You need to be an associate to get the Distinguished Associate Award. So the extra fee is just to help prepare the award and other necessary logistics around it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Quick one as well. Are we getting the license tomorrow as well for CIPMN?
Okay, so it's not IIPM that is giving the license. It's CIPM that is giving its license. So if you hope to get the license tomorrow, then you need to find out the schedule for CIPM. When is their induction coming up tomorrow? Because they too, they are on conference. So maybe anything between 1 and 2, they should begin their induction process and maybe end anything around 5, 6, 7. So you can get to the venue. I'm sure by now they would have communicated the venue to all the chartered people. So you get to the venue tomorrow, and then you can get that. Architect James, does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does.
Or you want us to pick it and keep it for you? Do you want us to receive it on your behalf?